What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. And yesterday there was a meeting in Congress that was talking about cryptocurrency. We're going to get into that because it was very interesting. And the title of it is America on Fire. And FIRE stands for an financial industry. I forget the whole acronym and what it stands for, but it was very interesting. And the rest of the title said, will it lead to early retirement or financial ruin? That's literally the title of the meeting yesterday that Congress had. And that's crazy. So let's get right into it. Here, I want to start off with this because we know that financially things are getting worse. And this is just the beginning. And a lot of stuff that's happening in the Middle East is very dire. Here, Pomp says, the economic situation in Lebanon has become so dire that the citizens are taking to the streets. You simply can't devalue a currency forever and push citizens into a situation where they can't afford daily necessities. And look at this. Look at what's happening. I'll just quickly, briefly skip through these. Okay, that's one of the videos. Here's another. So you see the people are protesting. Okay, here's another. So bank break-ins are erupting throughout Lebanon as people lose faith in the banking system. Okay, and this is what happens when the currency collapses. And it has that the Lebanese pound has depreciated almost 90% against the dollar. And this is happening right now, people. This is what I'm talking about. I mean, we have the example of Greece and what happened then. People were uh, lined up by the bank, and they could only withdraw that withdrawal limit of I believe it was like 300 a week or something. So they had a limit on how much of their own money they can take out. Isn't that crazy? Okay, and what's happening is just unbelievable, and that's something we're living through. And this is global. There is crisis around the globe. And if this doesn't help you wake up to the reality of what's happened the past year and a half, I don't know what will, because this is hitting everywhere. Just because we technically don't see it now in our own country doesn't mean it's not happening. There are crises that are arising that sooner or later we're going to see. And those who are willing to pay attention and prepare for those things won't get blindsided by it. But I thought I'd show that to show you guys the reality of the situation. Now, turning gears here into the Congress, they're talking about digital assets. And we know that there's going to come a point in time where there's going to be a liquidity crisis, there's going to be a financial crisis. And how do you get out of a liquidity crisis? Well, none other than digital assets that help provide that liquidity or help provide the solution to the problem. Okay, and that's what cryptos will do. And now, if you insert a crypto that has the capability of doing real time payments, you're going to create a boost in the economy because now you don't have to wait days for transfers to happen, in such as is in the current financial legacy system. Okay, and so that's why I think like when it's time for to pay the consequences for it and everything is coming down and crashing down, you're gonna see the solution come out, and it's gonna be those digital assets that have real utility that are gonna be used. And here, listen to Tom Emmer speak. It's 4 seconds.
Fintech and cryptocurrencies are the future of finance. Fintech and cryptocurrencies.
And he tells you they're the future of finance, which is very true. Here, listen to this gentleman speak.
The title of today's hearing is America
on FIRE, FIRE being an acronym for Financial Independence, Retire Early. Will the crypto frenzy lead to financial independence and early retirement or financial ruin?
And that's the title of the meeting that Congress was having, and that's crazy. Um, very very crazy. In other news, we know that there's a very dangerous heat wave that's been sweeping across the nation, and here we see that New York City was, and this is Frank Chaparro, was urging all the households to limit their energy use to prevent power outages. Now we know that whenever it gets really, really hot, it can cause power outages. But something about these power outages, and you can call me crazy or being super speculative, but there's something about these power outages that are happening more frequently. We've seen it in the past year alone, ever since Klaus Schwab of June of last year came out and talked about a cyber attack. We've seen these the frequency of power outages, and people, I guess it'll get to the point where people are so used to these power outages that if something ever happens again where it's very serious, they'll be like, oh, it's another outage, no big deal, we'll just have to wait for it. But what if that outage starts lasting a week, a month, however long? Then you start getting into some crazy territory where you start to ask serious questions. So just keep your eye on the ball. Here is another representative talking about, cryptocurrency and how it compares to fiat in terms of money laundering. And here's the thing, I definitely think that some way, somehow, there'll probably be a back door, because there was a representative. Yesterday, I showed a video that this representative was talking about having reversible transactions on the blockchain, and so I would not be surprised if, I mean, the blockchain. We know that it's immutable. The ledger is immutable, so you can't change anything. But who's to say that maybe they add a feature that allows for reversible transactions? I don't know. This is me being speculative. But listen to what he says about money laundering.
And I would like to cite a statistic by Katie Hahn, who broke up the Silk Road scheme a while back. 99.9% of...
And Katie Hahn is the one who signed the FinCEN document that labeled XRP as a virtual currency, if you didn't know.
Money laundering with fiat currencies goes unprosecuted. 99.9. So, the commentary around whether we should allow cryptocurrencies to exist on AML lines, I would ask, compared to what? Compared to fiat, where 99.9% goes unprosecuted. So I want to shift now, and I would like to cite a statistic.
All right. And now you see the situation of what these representatives think. And so this is currently what's trending, and I encourage you guys to keep your eye on the ball, because a lot of things are shifting quickly, and before you know it, it's gonna happen in like a flip of a switch. And so I hope this episode has brought you some value. Like and subscribe, comment below. What are your thoughts? As always, I like hearing from you. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.